Lions TV, this is a different kind of VT than I usually do. This is a little VT, just, you know, we're struggling to score goals. It's plain for everyone to see. Why is that? Many opinions, many different attitudes towards it. And in this VT, I'm going to give you mine. So the way I see it is this. Harris sees it that we've got 5 strikers at the club. Aidan O'Brien, Fred Onyedinma, Tom Elliott, Lee Gregory and Steve Morison. Now, straight away, for me there, 2 of them aren't strikers. Let's start out with Aidan O'Brien. Aidan O'Brien, for me, he's not an out-and-out centre-forward. But again, as I said before, he's not a left midfielder. I see Aidan O'Brien's perfect position. He's not in a Millwall formation. He's not in a Millwall side. He's sort of as a 10, in behind a front 1 or in behind a front 2. And we don't play that way. We're going to play 4-4-2. We always have, and we always were under Harris's reign. So, for me, Aidan O'Brien, he's not even a forward. I wouldn't even class him as a forward. I think Harris sort of feels he can use him there if need be, and he feels the same sort of way as I do about it. Similar to Aidan, Fred Onyedinma. I don't see Fred as a centre forward at all. I think he's a lot better running from deep. I think he's a winger. Again, he's a young player, and I don't think he's got a nailed-on position, which is... It can be handy at times for the team because you're versatile and you can come on, but it also can be a hindrance for because then you get put on a bench because the manager knows he can bring you on in 2 or 3 positions instead of being an out-and-out forward or an out-and-out winger. But yeah, for me, Fred runs from deep. His finishing is nowhere near good enough to be a centre forward. I love the way he runs at people and he's attacking, and he does run at the throat of defenders, which worries him. He's similar to Jed in that way. He hasn't had a great run up front, granted, but for me, again, Fred Onyedinma, he's not forward. Moving on to the big unit, Tom Elliott. Tom Elliott is the 3rd choice striker at the club, and what I'll say about Elliott is people think I've been harsh on Elliott, saying from the very beginning I've been saying he's not the answer. I don't mean that in any way disrespectfully to Tom Elliott. Tom Elliott has come into the club and he's not been bought as to be our main striker. What he's good at, which is coming off the bench, sort of 15 minutes to go, if we're struggling, launching long balls into the box, because he does cause upset and unrest. But he's not a starter, not for me. He's never going to get 20 goals a season. He's not the long-term answer for us up front. Moving on to our 2 main centre-forwards, Steve Morison. Let's start with a general. Listen, Steve Morison, similar to Greg, as I move on to Greg's in a minute, people saying, oh, he's not up to this division. He's lost it. He hasn't lost it. What it is, we have stepped up a division, and the gulf in class now between League One and the Championship is the same, almost a bigger gap as there is between the Championship and League One. So Morison is up against better opposition. He's up against better organised teams, better organised squads with better managers and better players who are worth millions as opposed to hundreds of thousands or free transfers. So he hasn't lost it. He's just made that step up, and at his age now, it's difficult for him. Steve Morison, club legend, one of our all-time top scorers. He's got to be respected, but it's a big ask of him. And the man that plays alongside him and divides a lot of opinion at times, Lee Gregory. Now, Lee Gregory, for us, is brilliant, and I'll tell you why he's brilliant. He covers every blade of grass in that second third. He runs the channels. His hold-up play superb. But as we all know by now, his finishing isn't spot on at this level. It's strange because the season before last, he's got 27 league goals. Now, he's getting himself into positions, but I think it's just a confidence thing. It has been a tough season for Gregors, but I strongly believe, listen, we bought him out of non-league. It was a gamble that paid off in a big way. He's come a long way with us, and I believe he's still got a future at club. 29 years old. He's probably not got another 2-3 seasons in him at his best. So I think a centre-forward alongside of him will kick-start Gregors into scoring a few more as well. Now, the main man in all this, the puppet master, our manager, / all-time top scorer. Listen, Harris knows what a goal scorer is and needs to be. The man's been there and done it and holds the record at our club for the all-time top goal scorer. But what I'm going to say for Harris in his defence again is this. Now, people saying, you know, some people saying, why has he bought Tom Elliott? Why doesn't he buy this player? Why doesn't he buy that player? Harris, a lot of time, his hands are tied. And what I will say on a Tom Elliott situation is, when I've said that Tom Elliott isn't the answer, I think Harris knows Tom Elliott isn't the answer. Listen, Harris isn't stupid. The amount of goals the man scored as a professional footballer, of course he isn't. But what people don't realise is the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. For example, you know, in the summer, we spent on Saville, we spent on Wallace, we spent on Cooper. The rest have been free transfers or players that are out of contract. I think Harris has gone to Berylson and said, Mr. Chairman, we need a centre forward. And Berylson said, well, Neil, there's no money. You can bring in someone, for example, that's on no more than £2,000 a week, and it's a free transfer. Now, Tom Elliott could be the best available in that bracket. He can only play with the cards he's been dealt. So it is tough for Harris, but as I said before, now I think he's warranted going to the chairman in January and saying, we need to push on again. We need this little kick. So where does Neil Harris go with this? There's been a few names touted about. I keep seeing this Hunter pop up for from Fleetwood. This, to me, what I've seen of him, he seems like a poacher. What we need is, we need a player that can play Morrison's role. We don't need another player that can play Gregory's role. We need someone that Gregors can play off of. Devante Cole, people saying he's no better than what we got. He's a League One player. We haven't got 3, 4, 5 millions to go after these other players. So we've either got to buy a young player and take a chance like we did with Gregors, or we've got to go for an older, experienced head. Jonathan Waters is looking for a move away from Burnley. Could be one option. But for me, Devante Cole, 22 years old, son of ex-Manchester United legend Andy Cole, come through Man City Academy. He's also played at England youth level. So that is it for this special VT. It's just playing on my mind a lot. It's a big talking point of the club amongst the fans. So I just thought I'd throw my opinions out there. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you on Thursday for a pre-match prediction as we're at home to Middlesbrough this Saturday at the Den. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.